Alright, this is part 2 of my sketchbook. Yeah, sorry my video cut out. Didn't realize that would be able to happen on my phone, but yeah. But anyway, so moving on. This is a single TV monitor. So this is how I kind of made these images in here. I just took the image boards and then, edited them out, drop them in Photoshop, cropped them inside the TVs. So yeah, there's that. And then you get one, yeah. So yeah, you get the idea. So when you look at my trailer, there's some images that actually aren't from my zine at all. But instead they're in this big notebook here. Um, so this is a collection of drawings that I made while I was in a study abroad, in Japan last year. Which was, unfortunately cut short due to COVID, but what can you do about that, right? So yeah, these images are in here. Right, these two were used in both my zine and my trailer. I took out the bong and ended up not using it. Just didn't fit the page well, and I also didn't want to look like a big pothead. So this is from one of the boxes in the trailer. Just a dude, tattooed up dude smoking. And then here's a Hamburglar thinking about Mayor McCheese, who has the body of Nicki Minaj. All right. There's a naked fat cat dude, and then a commentary about a college kids taking Vyvanse, which I like to call vegan Adderall, because people think Vyvanse is better than taking Adderall because it isn't as addictive, supposedly. I don't really know. But yeah. Oh, also the guy getting his head stabbed in. Yeah. Then this page, yeah, I use this image. Guy with his head bashed open, just kind of dead. Um, and these guys right here. Yeah. So that's that. There's other images that I could, definitely show, like this one I used in the trailer. You didn't really see this one because he was on the bottom of the cube environment. Um, but I came up with this drawing because there's the term "kick the bucket," um, which refers to dying, and this creature. I call this piece a suicide demon because yeah, kind of self-explanatory. I don't really have to go into detail about that. Um, but yeah, this is kind of like my personal collection of my own drawings and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Um, this is like the prototype for this. I just wanted to see how it looked like when it was like stapled. These are I just took note of like my audio files when I was editing the sound for the trailer, so that has nothing to do with the zine per se. But yeah, so I take an 8x11, like just a regular printing paper. For this one, I took 3 pieces of paper, stacked them up 4.5, and then stapled in the middle. But before I do that, I make designs according to the page length and page size. So yeah, so there's that. I have a lot of stuff for. Oh, sorry about that. I have a lot of stuff for lettering, Because the way I make these sticker designs and also like the designs in the trailer is I take these tags I made. Well, yeah, not these, but like from here. So just go over them one by one. All right, I just take, scan these and then edit it through Photoshop, like my drawings. Yeah, all these tags are just nonsense. They don't really mean anything. I was trying to figure out a way to write Michael Myers out and make it look cool. But I ended up not doing that for the final design. Yeah, kind of trying to develop like a tag like handwriting style that I could use for other projects. So, hence the alphabet and just like random words. Yeah. So I like the word suka in Russian, which means bitch. I've written this in my like sketchbooks, in my my personal drawing sketchbook since middle school. I don't really know why. I just like the way the lettering looks, and I also like the fact that it means that word. So if I put it on a wall or something, yeah, it's just literal graffiti. Um, but I'm not calling myself a bitch. I'm not calling anybody else a bitch. It's just that I like the way the lettering looks. And that's just kind of what I roll with. I don't mean any offense to anybody. It's just what I like to do. Yeah, you guys get the idea for these. They're all just letters and stuff. Some of them are okay, some of them are terrible. At the end of the day, they all get edited and then arranged and designed in stickers. So, well, not all of them, but some of them. There's a design for a dude, punk guy smoking a joint or something and flipping off the viewer. And all my toy handwriting styles. More characters and, practice for the tags. Bunch of tags. Yeah, it's all nonsense. I mean, here I literally tell people to go watch hentai occasionally. So yeah, it really doesn't, uh, it's just a bunch of nonsense that I like to write out sometimes. Very good way to really stress. So yeah, you guys get the idea. I was trying to practice the lettering for my, let me look for it. Yeah, for this one. Trying to figure out like a writing thing for this, but I don't know, I just like the way it looks for now, so that's fine. Back, more designs. So yeah. I am very toy, and I don't really care. Toy, it means like a person that doesn't really have style, or their style sucks in terms of like graffiti and tagging. I don't really do graffiti. I like to do spray paint, but that doesn't mean I'm a graffiti artist. I don't go out in the streets and paint my stuff. And that's the whole point of graffiti, so I don't really consider myself a graffiti artist. And yeah, more lettering stuff. Yeah, I have so many of these, but I feel like you guys get the point. in terms of this part of the sketchbook. And yeah, it's that. More Michael Myers stuff. And then, yeah, practicing on scrap paper. And then these are just, I did this very recently. Yeah. This is a blue printer paper. I mean, not printer paper, I'm sorry. Blue printer ink. And then I mixed it with black printer ink, and then, you know, it's basically dye ink. So you could, if you put it in a pen, you could just write with it and draw with it. So it's kind of what I've been doing. Yeah. Yeah, my tag, this part I feel like is very important for my, development of my project, because, you see these words written out everywhere in the trailer when I show off my zine image portion. So there's that. I also have notes in my iPad, so I'll show you guys that right now. There's Eric Andre. It's my background. So yeah, so these are all my stuff on my iPad. Let me turn off the lights so you guys can look at it better. There we go. So yeah. So this was from the first assignment that we had for the class, where we take pictures in the natural world and then we make some sort of image out of them. So I made like a hand, like a demon hand out of it. And so yeah, I made that guy, and then I also made this thing. For this one, I took a picture of a t-shirt that I had. It's like a Stussy, graphic t-shirt, and I just took the color palettes on there and threw it in here. It's just a dog thinking about, hoping that his master doesn't notice that he ate his bag of weed, hence, why he looks like that. And this was like the color wheel, the circle assignment we had. And then this is like another demon thing that I made out of my natural world thing. I didn't post this in the blog. I just kind of made this on my own because I like the color scheme that I ended up getting from that picture. So yeah, there's that dude. It's still work in progress. There's still a bunch of details that I haven't added to it. Basically I want all this type of texture all over his face. Make him as gross as possible. And yeah. What else do I have? Oh yeah, I was gonna show you guys this one, because this appears both in my zine and in my trailer. So if you go to page 2, this is the comic. It's called Dixie the Cat. It's just about a cat who likes to, just write stuff on walls. Right? And then this was like the original, idea of it. So I used to want to go by eTard, but I kind of switched it because I do realize I like the word suka a lot more. So I just went with that. So yeah, in the trailer, this image is in there. When the book is rotating, the background cube thing, that's this. Just a possessed cat in like a barnyard with the priest and a farmer, trying to, kind of like The Exorcist, type of deal, you know. Um, and then yeah, each panel of the thing. So yeah, I designed this so that I could post this on like Instagram or something as like a web comic originally, and then I just put it in like a, you know, a 2-page format where it's like a real comic book. And yeah, it's a bigger image. And oh yeah, this is how I, you know, design the characters for each panel. And yeah, that pretty much covers everything I did throughout this. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more thing. These are just like the how I made the gifs, you know, GIF images for that just are serve as like a visual layout for the project. I don't know what happened to this file. It just combined everything into one, so I can't really show you guys that one. Because it's just chaotic mess. But if you guys look at my blog post, this is in there. So yeah, yeah, you guys get the idea. Originally in the trailer, I wanted it so that the alien's head would explode from reading the book. But I couldn't figure out how to. Well, I know how to figure out animating it, but it's just that my computer couldn't process it, so I just ended up not including it. But for the future, you know, when I get better tools, I probably will end up, you know, adding that in there. So yeah. Uh, so my I guess I'll just go over like my influences. Like I talked about um at the beginning on part one, um, I really like the concept of like anti-war and like anti-nuclear stuff. Um, so and also like the idea of making a zine. Um, you know, came from mainly these three books, and then another book I don't have a copy of, unfortunately. Um, but I was very inspired by Tim O'Brien's book called "The Things We Carry," and Kurt Vonnegut Jr.'s Slaughterhouse Five. You know, they're both very um, anti-war books. You know, Kurt Vonnegut's my favorite author in literature. Period. So this book is my favorite books among, you know, the very few books that I actually read. Um, but yeah, this book is Mizuki Shigeru's Onward Towards Our Noble Deaths. This is a graphic novel about, you know, the South Pacific War and during World War II on the Japanese perspective. Um, the author himself, you know, fought in this conflict, so you know the background, and which is the reason why like the background environments are super photorealistic. Um, and you know the story in general is very realistic. Um, yeah, this is a very anti-war book, so I think this is a very important, you know, piece of literature people should read. But anyway, in terms of my art, Raymond Pettymon is a very big inspiration for me. Um, you know, he he was very popular in the '80s when he made stuff for this band called Black Flag. Um, you know, everything. Well, a lot of the stuff he does, it's super dark. Um, all in ink, as you can see there. He's very political, and yeah, just one of my favorite artists. Just visually, they're all very intense, and this is kind of what I aspired to be when I first discovered him, and when I first discovered the music of 80s hardcore punk rock, which is still a very big influence on me in terms of my artwork and my outlook on life in general. Um, yeah, he still does artwork today. He mainly likes to draw like a lot more peaceful stuff. Um, like he likes surfing, so he draws a lot of like waves and dudes surfing. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But personally, I like his older stuff, but I still like him. This is the very first zine that I bought. Um, Buying the zine kind of inspired me to make a zine myself. Because this made me realize a zine could be anything you want it to be. In this simple book, it's just a bunch of pictures in New York of graffiti. Um, so yeah, yeah. If you couldn't tell from me explaining my letter practices, I really like spray paint stuff. It's like anything from tags to graffiti. Um, I just love it all. Um, this stuff isn't it's actually very hard to do. Um, Takes a lot of time. At least for me personally, it takes up a lot of time. I didn't realize how much of a craft work graffiti was until, I just try to emulate it in my backyard. Um, there's Bat. Yeah, Bat's one of my big influences. Um, and Neck Face. I love Neck Face. Yeah. So there's that. Gotham has a new face. Yeah. This book is really cool. Um, yeah. If you guys want, I don't know if they still sell this copy, but if you guys want it, you guys could look up at Carnage NYC and then purchase it from him. So shouts out to him, I guess. Yeah, Carnage NYC, as you can see there. So yeah, that wraps up my sketchbook tour for my trailer and my zine. Thank you guys so much for, if you guys stuck through this far and listened through just me rambling on about nonsense. Um, but yeah, um, to the teaching team for this course, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to, explore these these themes that I have before you guys. It means a world to me. I feel like I'm probably going to continue making more stuff related to, world building and making zines and comic books or comic strips more so, or just, artwork in general. I would also like to thank every student in the class, it was really cool seeing your final projects and your process of coming up with ideas. It's very interesting to see how people came over their obstacles in terms of, using Blender, rendering images, and coming up with a what if world in general. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, have a good one.